All right, this one, your errors and omissions related issues. This is what you are interested in.
Good morning, everyone. Let's see. Hello, hello. Okay, for who is on, we're gonna start in probably 5 to 10 minutes. Now's a good time to go grab a drink, some water, some caffeine, coffee, something, a snack, whatever's clever. And we'll start in about 5 to 10 minutes. Sometimes people trickle in, they're a little bit late. So it's 11 o'clock right now. I'll check back in at around 11:05. And if we have enough people, we'll start get going and do some introductions. But talk to everybody soon. So in about 5 minutes, we'll get going. Now's a good time to grab some water or a little snack. Hey, George, how goes it?
How you doing, Jared? I just called you right now because I was in I was watching the power session and my tire I had a flat tire in the middle of the 10 freeway
Oh, no.
and I'm on the gas station and I can my flat tire was so bad and now I have to call the AAA. So I was trying to rush to get it to the office so I can see the ignite, but what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna still have to wait for the AAA. I'm gonna be listening and I write it down the stuff later on. I don't know.
Gotcha. No worries. Listen, my day's starting off weird too. I woke up with a little pink eye going on.
No
Don't worry.
way.
I don't think it's COVID. I have allergies. So I get it all the time. I'm just my dog. I'm a little allergic to my dog, and he always tries to sleep in bed with me, and he always just
Uh-huh.
curls up in my pillow. Sometimes I
Uh-huh.
just wake up with it, and it's just like it's embarrassing. But oh well. I love my dog enough that even if I'm allergic to him, I won't get rid of
That's
him.
funny.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate it. Yeah,
So
no,
we're all
it's my first ignite, so I don't want to lose it. I want to be able to complete the whole thing, you know.
no worries, man. No worries. Well, okay, so we got a good amount of people in here so far, so we'll just kind of get started right now. First, I want to introduce myself. My name is Jared. I'm going to be teaching the Ignite class. So thank you all for joining. We're going to go over everything from start to finish, how to, you know, find your purpose in real estate, why you're in real estate. We're going to delve deep into our our big whys, why we want to be in real estate, what we want to accomplish in it, and then also just the day in and day out of how to real estate, basically, how to find clients, how to manage your time, how to really focus on your sphere, focus on how you're going to get clients and stuff like that, and all that fun stuff. So getting started, I want to let everybody know one thing that we always do. We're going to do what I call our daily reporting. Um, Hold on, let me make sure I have it open. I certainly do. Good job, Jared. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen really quickly. We're all going to have a moment to kind of chat and talk amongst each other and introduce ourselves while we do this. But as you'll see on this screen, I have from a couple other sessions ago, we have our agents who are attending these Ignite classes. we have over to the right of agent is per day, per week. And then over to the right of that is calls made, actual contacts, and then also, of course, attendance. Just so you know, if you're just joining, yes, my eye is very red right now. I'm allergic to my dog, and I woke up with a little, irritation. So deal with it. Anyway, so what is per day? Per day is the number of calls we are going to make every single day, whether it's calls, text messages, snail mail, emails, whatever you want to do to drive your business forward. We want to make sure we're making contacts with people at least a certain amount a day. And we're all going to have different numbers. We're all going to kind of pick a number that we're going to stick to. Some people, it might be 5 calls a day. Some people, it might be 100 calls a day. It really depends on what you're able to do and your willingness to do it. But whatever we pick, we're going to try to hold ourselves accountable and make sure we make those calls daily. So if anybody who joins Josh's power sessions, this is very, very similar to that. We're just going to go over how many calls did you make, how many, two-way conversations we had. And then also in this class, we want to go into it a little bit more in depth and maybe have a conversation of how it went. Instead of just reporting, let's talk about it. How was your cold calling? How was your blast email marketing? Was it effective? Did you get a good return? Did you get any clients from it? And we want to be able to share in this space with everybody, because we're all kind of learning here. And some of us are actually experienced pro agents who have been in the business for a while, and even more the reason to share how your cold calling went, because the newer agents will certainly benefit from that. So let's start it off. I think we have a pretty much brand new group of people, so we're going to start all over again. George, I thought I did have you before. Yeah, you did 2 other classes. So let's just start with you, George. I know that you're on the side of a freeway right now, or at a gas station waiting for AAA. But how was your break? I know we were on break, but how was it, one? And then also, how many calls did you make?
I did around seven to eight, honestly, and a two ways conversation.
I'll give you the 8 and say it was 2. Sounds good. Oh wait, sorry, that was.
But this 8 is also combined with a couple of messages too.
So, George, how many calls per day do you want to commit to doing?
I want to commit to do it around like 30 to 40. However, I don't have as much contacts in my book or my sphere. So I'm not able to do the RedX or the Mojo. So normally what I do, because I have more contact on social media, for example, Facebook, I do a video message for all the contacts that I have, the contact that I have.
Cool.
And so I try to connect with them, not with the message, but with a video message, talking about their names and etc. because I have more contact with them through social media, but not with the phone number.
Gotcha. And listen, I think social media is a great way to reach out to people. That's where I get a lot of my leads from. But I'll talk about that a little bit more in depth. I don't get that many leads from just making a post and sitting back and going like, people are going to contact me. Awesome. Doesn't really work that way. In my experience, some people are really, really, really good at making a post and getting people to start, messaging them. Oh, hi, there's a squirrel right in my window. Hello. Sorry. So my point is what I always recommend is just like what George is doing, is reaching out proactively to our friends list and getting right into their DMs and saying, hey, George, it's Jared. Just was thinking about you. How you doing? By the by, it's a great time to, buy, sell, or invest in real estate, something thereof. So very cool, George. So moving down, I'll give you credit for today. Okay. If you're already on this list, please let me know so I don't write you in again. But we're just gonna go down. Grayson,
Yes,
how goes it?
good. I just started, so I'm. This is my first Ignite, so I am just learning
Nice.
everything that's out here.
I love it. So Grayson, how many, and I'm going to hold you accountable to it, even though you're just starting. How many calls or contacts? Again, a call could be also a text message. It could be a DM on Instagram. It could be an email blast. It could be whatever we want it to be, but it just has to be a contact. And we're hoping to have a two-way conversation from that contact. How many per day could you commit to doing?
How many per day? Probably 3.
3. I like it.
3, yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. So we'll keep you there at 3. And so again, we're going to get a little bit more comfortable with what that entails as we go through the classes. But, and, you know, we can always change those numbers. We can go up, we could go down, you know, whatever we want to do.
Okay.
Very cool, Grace. And good to have you and welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Awesome. And okay, moving down the list, we got, it looks like Amar.
Hey, how's it going? I can feel comfortable with 25 a day.
I love it. 25 a day. And have you been doing it currently, or we're just starting as well?
I'm just starting. I've been kind of reaching out to people, but I notice on the power session, some people, their call numbers are like in the hundreds, or the attempted contacts. So my question is, are they just cold calling leads from some particular source? Or are they just blowing out their sphere of influence? How are they getting such high numbers is my question.
They're doing both. But usually the people who are getting into the hundreds, like for example, like, well, that's not necessarily true. I have like 1,000 something followers on my Instagram, which is not a humble brag or anything like that, but that allows me to, you know, stay in contact with people a little bit more. Frankly, I think I boiled it down to like actually like around 700 real people, because a lot of them are just like businesses that follow me that are not really a good lead. Well, it could be, but anyway, the point is you know, about 700 something people that I go through on a regular basis, DMing them, you know, reaching out to them or what have you. That keeps me pretty busy. Now the other thing that you can do, which is more to your point, there's stuff like, for example, Mojo Dialer, and what that is mojosells.com. And now, granted, I don't necessarily recommend that everybody go run out and get this when you're just starting. I think it's a little bit better to just try to work on your sphere of influence at first, reaching out to friends and family and doing it that way, because when you're just starting out in real estate, the less money that you have to put into the business, the better. Because we're going for longevity, you know, at this point. You know, we're not trying to just buy leads from Zillow. We're not trying to, you know, do anything like that, because when you do that, when you're just starting out, you're not having enough money coming in to the business to really fuel it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So for example, what you can do though, you can reach out to Title. Title can give you access to the Title toolbox, and you can get phone numbers that way. So for example, you can work with a Title rep, like for example, Lauren Goldman, Brandon Miller. These are all great people that you could reach out to. And I have some of their numbers I can put into the chat box. And when you reach out to them, you know, you can just kind of say, hey, you know, I'm trying to start cold calling certain areas. I'd like to get phone numbers. You know, what's the best way to go about that? And they'll go ahead and hook you up with some very valuable information where you can get their phone numbers and you can just start dialing for dollars, is what I like to call it. Hold on one second. Let me go ahead and put their info in the chat box. So this is Lauren Goldman's number, and his, I don't want to call her assistant. She's more than an assistant. Alyssa, she'll probably reach out to you and set you up. So I just sent that to everybody. So if you want to reach out to Title and get some phone numbers, that is my recommended way. I think the records are like pennies on the dollar for each number. So you can get like 1,000 numbers for a few cents a number. And that's a much, in my opinion, when you're just starting out, a much more effective way to spend your money than to buy into a cold calling or a dialer system. Now, if you do have, unlimited, resources and funds, some of us do, some of, we're all different. And you are able to invest a little bit. There is a product called Mojo Sells, and I will put that also in the chat box, and you can Google it. Mojo Sells Power Dialer. And what that essentially is it's a platform where you can go in, you can circle a neighborhood, you can, do all these really cool things. And when you click submit, you can get all the phone numbers associated with that geographic location. So it'll literally search through all the records, find all the phone numbers and all that stuff. It's only like $40 to do that. And I believe you have unlimited searches. But you also have to have what's called the power dialer or the single line dialer. Now, what are the difference between that? I believe with the phone numbers, with the, okay, thank you, Ellie. What you can do is you can get on to Mojo Sells, get all those numbers, upload that list into your power dialer, and you just click go, and you'll have 3 lines that call all the numbers at once. And the first person who picks up, that's who you start talking to. And then for the other people, let's say you were calling other lines, it might just ring to leave a voice message, and you can do like a pre-recorded message being like, hey, this is Jared. I was just trying to contact you about whatever, I'll try you back at another time. And it's a really effective way to get through numbers really, really quickly and make sure you're talking to people very, very fast. But again, that one costs like $250 a month. And while you do get, the neighborhood search and all these other cool add-ons for numbers, if you're not using it constantly, $250 a month ends up adding up. And, frankly, your first deal could take a few months, to really like tackle it down. So I always say, like, focus on your sphere of influence, your friends and family first, maybe go through Title to get, phone numbers that way. So that way you can just kind of sit on your cell phone, print out a list and just start calling on your cell phone. Much cheaper.
Are there scripts or anything like that you suggest, or it's just like?
Yes. So we're going to go over some scripts in class.
Okay.
But there's also on KW Connect, you can go to the KWU tab and you should be able to find scripts there. So all very good stuff. And so Amar, you're at 25, I got you. And thank you for joining, and looking forward to going through this journey with you. All righty. So we went through Grayson. Denver.
Hi, yes.
Hey, Denver, how goes it?
That's good. How are you?
I'm chilling, hanging out. How do you pronounce your last name?
Elwa.
Elwa, very cool.
Yeah.
Elwa. Perfect. And are you just starting out?
Yeah, I'm just starting out.
So how many calls could you commit to doing a day? Remember, calls are really just contact. So we could do text messages, social media, direct messages. We could do phone calls. We can do email. We could do snail mail. We can do whatever we want, but we're trying to do a certain amount of contacts per day.
Right. Well, I wanted to start off with at least like 50 a day.
Beautiful.
So I can reach a lot of people.
I love it. That's a good number.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Very cool. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you too.
Pleasure. Okay, so our Josh Canova.
Canova.
Canova. Do you go by Josh, or does R stand for something that you go by?
I go by Josh, but my legal name is Robert. So people
Okay.
get confused. It comes up on email with Robert. So I just put the R so that if you put 2 and 2 together, you realize it's the same person.
Gotcha. I like it. So how about you, Josh?
I'm brand new and I want to commit to 25 a day. But like the other question was like, how do people get 125? I would be done in 5 days from my contact list. So the information was helpful about the title reps because I'm on Jeff Yarbrough's team, and I already have some ideas of who I'd want to contact. Like I kind of set the comp in my old building, so I want to start there. So I'm going to reach out to both those title reps to see if I can get as much information as possible about the areas that interest me that I could have a common bond to, like where I currently live or where I used to live and some of the neighbors I already know.
Very cool. I love it. Nice. And Jeff's great. He'll definitely. And I believe Jeff has some. I don't know how he runs his team, but I think that he has lists as well. But
Yeah, he does.
Nice. And I think he also has scripts that he likes too. So you're off to a good start. Good stuff. All righty. Thank you so much for joining. Anastasia.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So if you've been listening in, how many numbers could you commit to doing per day?
20?
20. I love it. And are you new? Are you coming from another office or
No,
what's
no,
your...
I've been like maybe like 2 months to 3 months. Yeah, I'm like pretty new.
Nice. Have you been making daily calls or you want to report next class?
I will report next class, but I contact a lot of people.
Love it. I love it. Awesome. Well, pleasure to meet you.
Thank you. Pleasure to meet you too.
Pleasure. Okay, Davina.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, so I'm also new. I'm not, I guess, in a position to make phone calls yet because I'm like kind of still getting my license figured out, but Josh just recommended me here to kind of like learn everything that's going on.
Beautiful. I
So,
love
yeah.
it. Are you taking classes yet towards your real estate license credit or?
Yeah, I actually was in all of the power sessions. I have everything ready to be able to get my license, but because of COVID, they canceled my test. So it just keeps getting set back. It's kind of difficult to get your license recently.
How dare they?
I know.
Yeah. Well, very cool. There's a couple ways to work around it, and we can talk later. But I definitely recommend even before you have your official license, get out there and start talking to people. Right now is a great opportunity now to be like, hey, I'm about to get my license. I'm starting this journey. I'm already plugging into the meetings with the office that I'm going to join. And if you or anybody who's interested in buying or selling, it's really great. I'm working with these amazing top producing agents at the office.
Okay.
Just tell them some BS stuff. And, if they happen to say, oh yeah, you know what, I do have somebody, then you can go find one of those top producing agents. You could talk to Josh, who would be a good person. I could help you out and they could probably, do like a split with you or something and pay you as a marketing person or an assistant and like really give you like 50% of the deal.
Okay, that's great. I didn't know that. So thank you.
Yeah, it's a little loophole. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Thank you.
So yeah, very good stuff. Well, absolute pleasure to have you aboard. So cheers to
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
Greg, I'm just gonna go by Greg. How are you, bud?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. How about you? Are you new or are you?
So I'm a brand new agent, and I talked to my mentor. I'm just not really comfortable talking to people because I don't even know anything about the market. Like, what would I say to them? I don't have any scripts or anything. So just trying to like get all that together first, and then I would be comfortable with making like 10 calls a day maybe.
Perfect. I love it. 10 calls a day, all day, every day. Let's do it. Okay. Very cool, Greg. Pleasure to have you aboard.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, who else do we have? Brianna.
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so this is my first Ignite class as well. I'm a new agent. So, and I'm currently doing another job. So I'm going to start at around 10.
Beautiful. I love it. And, you know, once we get comfortable and get through a few more classes, I think we're all going to realize, oh my gosh, wait a second, I could totally do this. I can fit in 10 or 20 calls a day. Like, how long will that take me? And you'll have a better idea of how long calls take you, how long it takes you to contact 10 people, you know, because making calls and contacting 10 people are two different things.
Right.
You know, I can sit on the phone and go through 100 numbers and only contact like 3. You know, depending on when you call, what time of the day is, you know, it's going to be, sometimes they're going to be more effective than others. I always say, whenever you have a free time, get on the phone and you're not doing anything,
Right.
start lead generating. So, but we'll figure that out a little bit more as we go along, and we'll all be a little more comfortable doing it. So good stuff. Pleasure to meet you, Brianna. Is it Brianna or?
It's Brianna.
Brianna. Okay, perfect. And everybody, feel free to correct me if I butcher your name. Awesome. Ellie, how goes it?
Hello, I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I am great. How was your new year?
Oh, it's been good. I went to ski.
Atta girl. Wait, where are you? I have you on here somewhere, don't I?
I'm down there, I think, next to Maggie. There.
You are. So, how was your break? Did you make any contacts?
No, I'm working with 2 buyers right now. One of them, and then with another rentals that I wanted to ask you a few questions about that. I'm a little bit lost with the leasing.
Oh, I hate rentals, but yes, I will help you.
And hopefully I'm starting a new escrow this week. I've been like back and forth with the clients. So hopefully. But no calls yet.
No problem. Good job, Ellie.
Thank you.
All righty. Okay, Cindy.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Wait, Cindy, are you on here already?
Yes, I am.
You are.
Right
but
there.
now you have a beautiful picture so I can tell who you are. So that's great. I like it.
Thank you.
Awesome. How many contacts did you make over the break?
I did 15. I got in contact with 7. I'm waiting for title. Apparently there's an upload issue going on their end. And I tried to upload some stuff on my end for their thing and it didn't work out. So I'm waiting on title for that so I can make more massive calls because I'm ready.
I hear you. So I personally, and just so everybody knows, I keep track of myself as well during this, just so you know, I'm not just preaching to the choir. I did 80 calls and I think I contacted like 65 people, something like that. So very, very cool. All righty. So everybody, what we just did right now is we're doing part of our what's called our daily 10-4. And what our daily 10-4 is I'm just wondering, is anybody on here who's returning? Can you help me with reminding me what a daily 10-4 is? No.
All has one thing to do with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll give you a free pass on this.
Before we move on, Jared, I have a quick question.
Sure.
How do you recommend we keep track of our calls?
So, frankly, you could either do a spreadsheet like I do. You can, if you use Mojo Dialer, it'll keep track of it for you. And if you're just using like a call list, like a piece of paper with a bunch of numbers, just mark where you started and wherever you stop, just, put an X on it or something, and then just count the numbers down and then just write a little tally next to it. Very, very low tech. So,
Jared, do you have any Do you use Command at all?
Okay, so that's my New Year's resolution in my business, is I want to get a little bit more in depth with my Command, mainly because I want to set up my my touches. So like my 33 touches and all that stuff. There's all these campaigns that are set up in Command that will basically put your marketing on autopilot, which I really need to do. Because frankly, you know, when you get up and running in real estate, you'll have like 5 or 6 or 10 active buyers or sellers. And then you have like 50 people who are like 6 months down the line. And it's very, very easy for you to just, you know, hyper focus on those 10 people that you're like, that are somewhat actionable, you know, people who are actually actively going out to view open houses, people who are actively like reaching out to you going like, hey, I saw this house, like, could we set up a time or whatever? Great. You might get in the habit of hyper focusing on those people and then forgetting the 60 other people who are potential business, but they're just, you know, 6 months down the line or something. And Command really makes it so much easier to stay in contact with these people and just kind of daily, like weekly rather, give them like a little drip. Like, here's a newsletter, here's something fun that's happening in the market. Here's some info that's, you know, pertinent to the Los Angeles real estate. Here's a weekly newsletter that, or a monthly newsletter that I like to send out. And that way you're keeping in contact with people who might not be on your radar. You know, frankly, when you get up and running and you have all those leads, you know, it's easy to all of a sudden forget to reach out to certain people. So that's my New Year's goal, because I feel like it will really, really improve all of our businesses. So very, very cool, everybody. So that was our daily reporting that we do in the class. We're going to be doing that every single day. Whenever we start this class, this is what we do first. And then we're going to jump right into it right now. And this is the Ignite Your Business. This is the first power session of 12. And we are going to be taking attendance for this. Kristen Toll, who heads the mentorship program and the education director, wants to make sure everybody's attending these. And it is a requirement for us. So anyway, but we're going to be going over a lot of very, you know, interesting stuff in this. Some of the thing is uncover your big why and how to achieve it. Commit to daily lead generation to grow your business. Use influencing sales language to win clients. Be accountable to your big why and your life. You know, what's cool about Keller Williams is we feel like, you know, you got to have some time for your life too. You know, it's not just real estate, real estate, real estate. You want to be a well-rounded individual. Okay. This is some stuff that we don't need to go over. All righty, let's get down to it. Okay, so welcome to Ignite. Let me grab that from the room. Okay, welcome to Ignite. You're embarking on a new, exciting, and challenging adventure and leaving your former life behind. Get your head in the right place as we begin this adventure. So getting your head in the game. Write your answers and discuss the following questions in class. Obviously, we are not face-to-face with everybody, so we're just going to have an open discussion about some of these things. And I hope everybody contributes. So have you achieved your financial goals through your career so far? Why or why not? So everybody, we're obviously in real estate now. What are your financial goals? Some of us, it might be different for everybody, but does anybody want to share their financial goals?
I'll go. This is Amal. So I don't really put like a monetary number on it. For me, it's more, my goal is to acquire real estate investment properties, and that's my goal, is to eventually be investing in real estate.
Nice, I love it. You know, Paul Morris, one of the owners of Keller Williams Beverly Hills, wrote a book, Wealth Can't Wait. And he attributes you know, a lot of his success to just that, getting rental properties and what we call in the business buying doors. You want to get as many doors as you can because each door equals a paycheck every single month. So absolutely, that's a really good goal. You know, for me, some of my financial goals is very similar to yours, Amar, but, you know, also to help my family, and then also to eventually one day create a nonprofit for, you know, causes that I'm very, very passionate about. So very, very good stuff. What is one thing that makes one real estate agent more successful than others? Can anybody take a stab at that one?
I would say consistency and dedication.
Yeah, big time. You know, anything that we want to become good at, we need to be very consistent in it, which is why we're going to discuss a lot. It's a reoccurring theme in this. It is, you know, time blocking and holding yourself accountable. For example, is just as simple as making, you know, 5, 10, 20, 100 contacts per day, and staying consistent with it. So, you know, I'd rather somebody say, I'm going to do 5, you know, contacts per day, but consistent with it, versus somebody who's like, I'm going to do 100. I'm going to knock it out of the park. I'm going to do, yeah, for sure. Then, you know, next week comes around. Hey, how many calls you make? What? 3 per day? No, like the whole week, 3 calls. Yeah, sorry. I know I came out the gates really strong, but, you know, didn't finish. So we want to be very realistic with our expectations of ourselves and something that we can hold ourselves accountable to. Now we want to push ourselves a little bit, you know, kind of, we want to be in like a 60 to 80% probability that we'll hit it, you know, so it's definitely good to do that. So now, why don't all agents here, sorry, y'all, this is a very important call. I am a working agent. Amar, could you read, why aren't all agents doing this? And then,
Why aren't all agents doing this?
I don't know. Amar, why don't you think all agents are doing this?
I think it could be fear, laziness, distractions. If anybody else has any reasons, feel free to chime in.
I would say probably it's uncomfortable at the beginning, calling like your friends and family and basically asking them for business, which is something I think a lot of people aren't quite used to. I've been in different sales roles and it's usually strangers. So I just think it's uncomfortable at the beginning.
Yeah.
For any of you that have,
there is something that I always mention to everybody is I think is also the fear of rejection. That is, I think, one of the things that a lot of people face, and they stop when they start having a lot of rejections and not a positive
Thank you.
outcome
Man,
at the beginning.
that's just music to my ears.
That's it.
for anybody that's been in the office for a while, I think Jared skipped the that daily 10-4. Can anybody chime in on what the daily 10-4 is?
Yes. Hold on one second.
So they're gonna need, before they can close, they're gonna need our releases, right?
Yes. So so 1 second, Thomas. So everybody, right now I'm on a call in regards to an escrow that I'm in right now. So just so you know why I'm holding up the class, very important call. It's a bankruptcy and a divorce sale. So I'll tell you all about this later in a couple minutes, because this will be some interesting stuff to learn about, but without holding any names or anything like that. But everybody just take like a 5-minute break and we're gonna restart, all right? Sorry, 1 second. Definitely. Thomas, thank you so much, man. I'll talk to you later. Alrighty. Okay. Bye. Alrighty, class. Sorry about that. Okay. So I will answer some of these in relation to what I just got on the phone with. So a lot of these things, getting your head in the game, it talks about what are your financial goals, what makes one real estate agent more successful than the other. And I was listening to both things at the same time. Everything that everybody said is spot on. What makes one agent more successful than the other? Why don't all agents do this? How do you feel about this? Is your desire to succeed more powerful than your fear from doing the one thing that makes you successful? Okay. So I always say that lead generation is the number one pillar in our business. It is literally the foundation of our business. If you don't lead generate and you don't constantly have, new leads coming into your sales pipeline, things will get held up. One deal will all of a sudden you'll find out that it's not running as smoothly as you thought. This particular deal that I'm working on right now, everything was running relatively smoothly. There was a couple bumps in the road, but it was a divorce and a bankruptcy. So two of these things are, can be problematic, obviously, in the sale of a home. So all of a sudden today, this morning, welcome 2021, the bankruptcy was supposed to be finalized, and we found out that it was not, in fact, finalized. So if anybody is aware of bankruptcy, you can't sell your house if there's an open bankruptcy on the property. We were under the impression that it was already taken care of. Two attorneys had told me this. The clients who are going through the bankruptcy, my sellers, they told me it was all fine. And then all of a sudden, just today, I got a message from one of the attorneys. Well, there was actually this other attorney who was handling the bankruptcy case, and it is not finalized. So it was all of a sudden, I was supposed to close tomorrow, and it looked like on the federal docket that the bankruptcy wasn't going to be heard for another 2 to 3 weeks. So my point that I'm trying to make is why it's so important to do lead generation. When you get a rut row like that, where all of a sudden you're supposed to close tomorrow, but you find out, oh crap, I'm not going to close for another 2, 3, whatever weeks. You want to have another deal already in the flow. So that way, when you get a hold up on one thing, you can continue moving forward with another. Because frankly, real estate, you're going to find that once you close on something, you're going to go, well, where's my next deal? And you never want to be in that situation, because even when you're in escrow, even when you're in, where you think it's a for sure close, something could happen. So you always want to make time, even when you're in escrow, even when you're dealing with 5 escrows, to make time to continuously lead generate so you can constantly be filling that pipeline for deals. And it's going to feel like really important to, oh, I'm sorry. Good call later. Okay, now my phone is off for the rest of the class. Sorry. So that's taken care of. So it's really important that we continuously lead generate. Now, why would we not want to lead generate? What are some reasons why we would kind of go, I don't want to do it? It almost says it right here. Is your desire to succeed more powerful than your fear of doing the one thing that will make you successful? Why is it that sometimes people go, I don't want to call. I don't want to make that call.
Rejection. Many people are scared of no's as answers.
Big time. When I first started in real estate, I like to tell this story to everybody who's new, especially. I wanted to get out and start door knocking. And I remember, I'm a nice Jewish boy from Beverly Hills, so I'm very close with my mom. So I remember calling her and I was like, hey mom, I'm going to start door knocking. It's going to be great. And she's like, oh, I don't want you to do that. I'm like, wait, what? She's like, well, what if somebody, I don't know, like, what if somebody gets angry at you? What if somebody says no to you? And all of a sudden, like, my own mother is giving me all this doubt in my head, like, oh my gosh, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I shouldn't do this. I was like, no, but my mentor tells me that I need a door knock. My mentor tells me I need a cold call. My mentor tells me I need to do this. I need to do that. And I got so caught up in my own head that I was going out to door knock. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And I walk up to this door. I have my business card in my hand. I'm getting close to the gate. It had like a little gate and fenced in yard that goes up to the door. And I walked right by the gate. And I got scared. And then I was like, come on, dude, you got this. Like, just knock on the door. It's not that big of a deal. I walk by and like, I kind of like look at the gate and I did another turnaround and it was almost comical. And eventually I got down to the point where I just opened the gate. I ran to the front of the house. I threw my card at the door and then I ran outside the gate again. And then I went back home and I said, I did it. That wasn't doing it. So my point is what was I afraid of there? I was afraid of rejection. I was afraid of somebody opening the door and being like, who are you? And frankly, I think I had what's called imposter syndrome. I felt like I'm a new agent. Like, I don't know enough. I don't know enough about the area. What if they ask me about, well, how many houses have sold in the area? All these things that I actually heard everybody saying when we were reporting our numbers this morning are all things that went through my head. Yes, Josh, Chris Voss is a master, and I talk about him frequently in this class, and he's great, absolutely. And so the point is don't ever be afraid of the unknown, because that's all we're afraid of in that moment. We're just scared that we're going to get rejection. But with knowledge, with knowledge comes power. So when we're going through these classes, we're going to learn how to learn about the markets. We're going to learn how to look up, sales data. We're going to learn how to do all these things. But at the exact same time, the one thing that I learned that is the best line in this business, you know what? I don't know that answer right now, but here, let me get your phone number and let me get your email and I'll get back to you, once I get home. How does that sound? Boom. Nobody's going to be mad at you for saying that. In fact, what you just did there is now you just got their phone number and now you got their email address and you can contact them anytime you want. So never let lack of knowing something from preventing you from moving forward. As long as you're coming at them with honesty, integrity, and a willingness to help, and coming from contribution, it should go well. And of course, you're always going to get a couple of people who are going to be jerks. That's life. We can't control how somebody reacts to us. So all this stuff is great questions to ask everybody, and to ask yourself, what's preventing me from doing this? Okay, so you're in the business. Can everybody see this page that I have up open right now?
Yes.
Great. So Josh, could I have you read "You're in the Business"? Sorry for picking on you for answering.
No problem.
Down to just right down to mindset, and I'll have somebody else start with mindset.
There's one thing that can propel you forward in your career. What is it? The secret is simple, and it's not a secret at all. It is lead generation, and you're going to learn this skill and do a lot of it in this course. So get used to this winning reality quickly. You're in sales. Yes, sales. Your livelihood is dependent on the number of homes you help others buy or sell. Gary Keller, co-founder of the company, says you're actually in two businesses in this order: the business of lead generation, the business of real estate.
That's huge. And it's the truth. Like I said before, lead generation is the foundation of our other business, which is real estate. Without leads, we're not closing deals. So we really want to focus on that lead generation. Very good. Thank you so much, Josh. I really appreciate that. So mindset and attitude matters. You may think that lead generation will be making phone calls that are bothering and annoying to people. We all feel that way, especially when we feel like we're being sold to. However, when you adopt an attitude of contribution, a significant shift in how people respond happens. Change your mindset and focus on being of service. Adopting a mindset and a philosophy of contributing to lives of other people allows you to be direct and to the point in your interactions with others, with a focus on contribution and being of service. You'll communicate more effectively with customers and win their hearts and minds effortlessly. Energy and enthusiasm and a deeply rooted belief in doing the best job possible for each and every customer attracts people to you. Take every opportunity to educate people in your personal, professional, and social life about what you do and how you can help them. These reminders for people in your network can lead to many, many referrals for business. And it's the truth, always come from contribution. Now, there is a fine line of being, nagging and, constantly calling somebody and bothering somebody. When somebody tells you flat out no, it's okay to move on to the next person. But at the same time, it's okay to check in with that person and just go, hey, how you been? What's new? Sometimes lead generation is just having a conversation and opening that channel of communication with people, and keeping that in mind. And later we'll learn how to slide in like, hey, by the by, do you know anybody who's looking to sell? Like, fine, I know you said no, but do you know anybody else who's looking? And oftentimes that conversation will shift into, you know what, actually, my sister-in-law is looking for a house. Let me get you two in contact. So good stuff. The 6 personal perspectives. If I could have Denver, can you read the 6 personal perspectives? I have it highlighted.
Okay.
Down to the bottom.
Okay. The most successful at this business know it takes a certain mindset and attitude to keep at it every day, and especially to excel. Fortunately, Keller Williams Realty has a foundational model for a successful mindset, which came into existence when Gary Keller asked the question of hundreds of top agents. What is it that differentiates those who achieve at the highest level from those who don't seem to accomplish as much? After thoroughly researching this question, Gary discovered that all high achievers have 3 basic attributes in common: mindset, attitudes, and approach to life.
Boom. It's spot on. And it really kind of culminates to being a high achieving individual. So yeah, very good stuff. So based on these 3 attributes, the 6 personal perspectives came to be. So step 1, commit to self-mastery. Self-mastery is the possession of great knowledge, skills, and habits that make you the master of you. When you commit to achieving self-mastery, you know your goals, you know your strengths and weaknesses. That's actually just as important as knowing your strengths. Know how to work with both your strengths and weaknesses to seek and master the necessary knowledge, skills, and habits to reach your goals. Throughout Ignite, you will be acquiring the skills and developing habits to be successful, moving you towards self-mastery. So step number 2, commit to the 80-20 principle. The idea that 20% of your actions leads to 80% of your results may be one of the most powerful principles that you can apply to your life. It's about getting the most from your time and effort. It's about maximizing your results. It's also about having focus. Ignite, we identify your 20% for you, your money-making activity, lead generation. This is really what we should be focusing on. If we don't take anything from these classes other than that, we'll be good. We really want to focus on the lead generation. I can tell you, being passive in this business leads to mediocrity. We really need to be aggressively going after, potential business. Okay, this is one of my favorite ones. Move from E to P. High achievers are always looking for a purposeful way. By doing this, they break through the ceiling of their natural behavior. You can attain a certain level of success utilizing your natural abilities, but expect to hit a ceiling at some point. Wouldn't you like to achieve even greater success and break through that ceiling? How about living a larger life or obtaining your goals? Ignite is not only designed to help start your business, it is designed to help you grow your business. Ignite will help you move from entrepreneurial to purposeful. Something that I like to bring up whenever I read that is LeBron James. I love the guy. Actually, I used to hate him, frankly. When he was playing for the Cavs, I was like, I don't like him. But now he's playing for the Lakers, so I started learning a little bit more about him. And when LeBron first started, he had admitted that, I want to be the best that there ever was. And his coach asked him, okay, well, great. What do you think would help you achieve that? And he said, well, to be honest, I'm not that great of a 3-point shooter. So he started working on that constantly. He's one of the best 3-point shooters, in the league. And he's not even, really the traditionally built 3-point shooter. He's really tall. He's more of a power forward. but he can shoot those like no other. I mean, if you've seen him in his warm-ups, he just doesn't miss at this point. And that's because he continuously practiced that, and really lifted his game up. Now, naturally, he was very gifted. He was naturally, you know, his height, his, you know, physique, his everything. He was a naturally good, gifted basketball player, but he knew that he needed to better himself in certain areas of the game to become the best that there ever was. Now, debatable if he is, but I like Kobe Bryant, frankly. But if you look at the numbers, LeBron might have him a little bit, unfortunately. Anyway, make being learning-based the foundation of your action plan. A learning-based individual is an individual who has made the decision to use effective learning as a foundation piece for their action plan to develop their life. Training and education are a big part of moving forward to attain your goals and succeed at a high level. Learning-based individuals commit to the process of acquiring skill-based habits. All very, very, very good. So what are some things that we can do in our career? Like LeBron James, he kept practicing three-point shooting. What can we do to better our skills, our habits, to get better at lead generation? And I know that we're all just beginning, so you know, it's okay if we're, you know, just anything that comes to mind.
I think widening our sphere of influence is vital. You know, from, you know, like I do things like I do a weekly outdoor boot camp at the beach. I do a book club, and I think all these things just kind of help me to meet more people.
Yeah,
which I could eventually market towards.
That's huge. You know, frankly, my mom, when she sold my childhood home, she got a real estate agent from her book club. So Mara's 100% spot on. You know, the beautiful thing about real estate is being social is part of the job. So get out there, meet people, put yourself in, you know, fun situations, and you never know what might happen. You know, my big thing was when the rock climbing gym was open, I'll go rock climbing all the time at the gym, at a local gym. And I got to meet a bunch of people. You know, people would become my belay partners. You know, I'd get to know them pretty well. And, you know, listen, if they can trust their life in your hands when you're belaying them, I'm sure they'll trust you when it comes to selling their house. So, you know, all these different things are really, really great opportunities to meet people. Can anybody think of any other things that we could do to better our skills and improve our odds of success in real estate?
I would like to say something.
Sure.
Hey, I just want to introduce myself. I'm new here too. My name is David. And
David.
Nice to meet everybody here. And I would say something that everybody can do to kind of get out of that comfort zone of prospecting and to sharpen your skills and improving something would be even just committing to finding like a role play partner and committing to a certain time out of the day to get out of that comfort zone. I mean, to get uncomfortable and get into that comfort zone before, you know, you start your prospecting. And I feel like that does help, you know, like that embarrassment or that get over that rejection, and, you know, you give yourself a couple no's and what's a couple more, you know, while you're prospecting.
Boom.
Until you hit that first yes.
You took the words right out of my mouth, because that's the one I was looking for. You know, whenever we see, I don't know, an Academy Award winning actor or actress or whatever, when we're watching a movie and it's that they're that good that they win the Academy Award for Best Actor, Best Actress, or what have you, you almost forget that they're acting. You know, you watch it and you're like, oh my God, I was so enthralled in it. I remember when Jamie Foxx played Ray Charles, I didn't even think I was looking at Jamie Foxx. He turned into somebody else. It blew my mind. And so why do you think those actors or actresses are so effective at what they're doing? It's practice. There's rehearsals, there's role plays, there's, you know, getting in character. They're literally going over these scripts day in and day out and practicing them. So when it's time to take that shot, you know, they get it 100% of the time. Now, and the irony is they don't get it 100% of the time. Whenever a movie's being shot, you don't know how many takes that scene took. It could have taken, 100 takes just to get that one scene right. So the point is that for us in our business, if we're going to be using scripts and dialogues to be able to get business, wouldn't it make sense for us to practice those scripts and dialogues? So when all of a sudden you're on the phone, it's as simple as, hey, it's Jared Malinsky with Keller Williams, Beverly Hills. I sold this one house, 2201 Linda Flora, sold it for 4.9 million. Listen, we had 300 people come to our open house, and obviously there's 299 people who are really upset that they didn't get the house. Do you know anybody in the neighborhood who's interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate? And you want to get it so it just comes out so natural, it's almost conversational. And then, if they say yes, it's absolutely, that's fantastic. Who do you know? What's their name? And do you have their contact information? If it's them, fantastic. I'd love to set up a time to come and take a look at your property. Maybe it would be just perfect for one of my clients. If they say no, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Well, do you know anybody else who's in the neighborhood who may be thinking of selling? No. And if they say no again, fair enough. Well, listen, I really enjoyed having this conversation with you. I'm looking and it says that you live on Stradella. Just out of curiosity, have you ever thought of maybe selling in the next year? And the point is why do I know how to say all those things? Because I've practiced it, and it comes with practice. So definitely, once we get to our scripts and dialogues section, it might not be this class, it might be the next one. I want us all to really, screenshot it. I'll give you the link to all this stuff so you can go in and reread this, the material, and just practice it. Practice makes perfect. So good stuff. Okay. Remove your limiting beliefs. This is a huge one. It was for me, and I'm sure it will be for everybody on the call. Remove beliefs from their thinking that may hold them back. In order to successfully develop at a higher level, you will need to clear your mind of limiting beliefs first. For example, are there any of these thoughts in your head right now? I have to be an expert and know everything before I can begin my business. I'm not valid yet. I think I heard somebody saying something very similar to that in the beginning of this class. I don't think I can achieve a profit goal that will fund my life this year. We can definitely be a little bit concerned about that. Because I'm in the business will come to me naturally. I don't need to devote 3 hours each day to lead generate. That was me when I first got into real estate 4 or 5 years ago. All of these things are definitely limiting beliefs. And, ask yourself if you're having any of these thoughts right now. And it's natural to. But I'm here to tell you that it's mishigas. You don't need to worry about it. Just get out there. There's a saying called just ship it. And it's just get it out. There's many, many successful companies that their first iteration is not the best it could possibly be, but they wanted to get it to market first. And that's perfectly okay, even in real estate. So for example, I might not be a complete expert in, I don't know, I just had a sale in Carson recently. I am no expert in real estate in Carson, California. I'm far from it. I didn't let that prevent me from taking that listing. And I ended up double ending that. So, not only did I represent the seller, I also represented the buyer and got double commission from it. So the point is if I said, oh, well, Carson, I don't know anything about Carson, so I'm not going to try. I would have never had the opportunity to double end the deal. And so, keep in mind that if you don't take the shot, you're going to miss 100% of the time. So just go for it. If there's a question that you don't know the answer to, it is okay to say, you know what, I don't know the answer to that right now, but let me get back to you once I get home, and I can send it to your email. What's your email again? And just go for it. So very good stuff. All righty, activity. Turn limiting beliefs into unlimited beliefs. I like that. How would you redirect these negative thoughts into positive ones, into unlimiting beliefs that will fuel your success? What are some ways that you can shift this mindset? Not all at once.
I think what David said is huge, you know, doing role playing and perhaps with somebody that's a little bit more experienced than you. So when you start to stumble, or maybe when you say something that's not ideal, they can, you know, just kind of help you just polish off your skills before you actually hit the phones.
Totally. Absolutely. And to that, you know, knowledge is power. Once we get to the point where we're gonna, you know, learn a little bit about looking up market trends, you'll be able to go on to what's called 10K InfoSparks, which is in the MLS. It's a tab in the MLS that you can go to. In fact, while I have you on the horn, so to speak, I will go ahead and show you. So, okay, I'm going to share my screen real quick to my MLS.
Hey, Jared, where can we get that, the Ignite thing that you're looking at? Where can we find that?
Sure, 1 second. Oh, wait, I have it right here. So this I'm going to put in the chat. Oops. So right in the link will be in the chat. That's going to be the link to this lesson. You can also go to KW Connect and go to the resources tab, and it's under KWU, and you can find all the classes there.
Thank you.
But absolutely. So real quick, I just want to show you how you can find, here, I'm just going to do screen. That might be a little bit easier. So right now I'm on the login page for my MLS. I'm going to go ahead, let me move this. I'm going to go ahead and log in. And once I'm in, let's say I'm going to be, okay, thank you. Let's say I'm going to be cold calling a neighborhood that I'm not too familiar with it. Or maybe it's a neighborhood that I am familiar with, but I know that it's the new year, it's the new month. There's probably some new data that has, you know, entered into the system. So I just want to refresh what's happening in my neighborhood farm or the area that I focus on. So what I'm going to do is, now that I'm in the main screen, I'm going to scroll down to quick links. And once I'm at quick links, I'm going to look for, I don't see it right here. Okay. So then there's a little tab that has 1 through 4. I'm going to click over and boom, 10K InfoSparks market trends. I'm going to click on that. And by the MLS should have online classes on all of this. So I highly recommend everybody take the opportunity to do that. But I just wanted to show you this really quickly. So now that I'm in 10K InfoSparks, I could select all the different types of properties I want to focus on. Let's say I'm looking, you know, I'm cold calling condos in Sherman Oaks or something. I'm going to go condo co-op. I'm going to go Sherman Oaks. I'm going to do 2 bedrooms. Up to 2,000 square foot. Because let's say I have like a list of condos that I know like kind of the varying sizes of those condos. I'm going to click all that stuff. And now I can go ahead and I see all this data. Homes for sale. Well, how many homes do we have for sale in Sherman Oaks? Apparently there's 35 homes in December of 2020. That's not a lot. That's a very, very low inventory. Sales price. What is I want the average sales price. It'll tell me it's 580,000 for a 2-bedroom, up to 2,000 square foot. Sold per square foot. How much was it sold per square foot? 422. Let's see, days on market. Let's go to the average days on market for these condos, 32 days. Month supply of inventory. That's a weird number actually, 17.5. That doesn't really make sense to me, but let's see, do I have something checked on here that doesn't make sense? That's weird. It says 17.5. I don't necessarily believe that. That seems a little bit off to me, frankly. But you know, who knows? because 35 homes on the market, that seems a little bit off. But anyway, but this is how you would get, you know, neighborhood info and data. So if you're concerned about, oh, I just don't know enough info, you can print out each one of these pages independently. So it's just like you're flipping through it. Like somebody asks you, well, what's the average days on market? Oh, well, the average days on market is 32. So that's the average, according to the data. Well, how many new listings are there? There's only 9 new listings. Oh, okay, well, cool. How many homes for sale in general? There's 35. So you're able to get all this data fairly quickly while you're cold calling, while you're on the phone with somebody, and use this as a resource. It's huge, especially when you're cold calling. So very good stuff. I'm going to go back to the Ignite stuff. Did it go back to the Ignite page?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, so moving forward. So yeah, just so you know, that's a great way to just kind of educate yourself on what's happening in markets if you're not aware of it. It's that simple, it's that easy, it's that quick. So really with today's, you know, technology, you can become a quote unquote expert in any market with just a couple clicks on the computer. Getting the most out of this experience. Hey, George, what's up? Just so everybody knows, if you try to write me in the chat box, I prefer if you just interrupt me in the class. You have to leave the Zoom meeting. No problem, George. Have a good one, bud. Good luck on your car. So yeah, just feel free to chime in and interrupt me if you want to. Getting the most out of this experience. You have begun this exciting journey towards sparking your business and attaining your dreams. You are not simply a student or a learner in Ignite. You are a capper in training, preparing to do this, do what it takes to be successful in your real estate career. What kind of capper in training will you be in Ignite? So this is all very important stuff for us to go over. Hey, just so everybody knows, George is writing to me privately. Yes, you should be able to look at this on Facebook, George. So go on Facebook after. Okay, so this goes over like certain mindsets of certain people who join these classes. I know we're all going to be the explorer. I'm not worried about it, but the whole idea is the prisoner has to be there, doesn't want to be there, doesn't know why they're there, doesn't engage, spends class on their time catching up on emails, escapes by spending time in the hall on their phone, holds on to limiting beliefs, multitasks on their computer while working on side projects, picks fights with the trainer or other participants if they don't agree. I don't think we're going to have any of those. But the whole point is we all want to be the explorer, excited and curious about new knowledge, skills, and tools they will discover in class, listens attentively. Anyway, I'm sure we're all fine there. All righty. So this is the action reveal. This is kind of just an overview of what we're going to be going over for all of our classes. So for example, this one, we've already done our daily 10-4. We went through it. I suggest everybody take a look at that and familiarize yourself with the action reveal. Let's see. There we go.
Jared, I think you were going to explain what the daily 10-4 was, and then you got your call. Is that the tracking of the calls?
Yes. Okay. So our daily 10-4. Thank you for reminding me. What we want to do, if we don't really do anything in other than this, you'll still be successful in real estate. It's that simple. Keller Williams has broken it down to what's called the daily 10-4. And every single day we want to do 10 proactive outreaches to potential clients, which means 10 two-way conversations. We want to write 10 notes. So let's say we did it yesterday and we talked to 10 people. We want to write them a note, like a thank you note, just saying, hey, I just wanted to say I appreciate your time on the phone the other day. It was really great catching up. I'm excited that we went over some of your home buying goals, whatever. Feel free to reach out to me. that could be a text message, an email, or an actual handwritten note sent in the mail. Keller Williams recommends us to do a handwritten note and send out in the mail. I agree with them on that. I don't know if you feel really special when you get a handwritten note in the mail. I sure do. It really, really will set you apart from the crowd. So the first one is 10 contacts per day, 10 handwritten notes. We want to also add 10 contacts into our database. So if you're using Command, we want to try to add at least 10 contacts per day into our daily database, so we can put them on an automatic drip campaign. And what are those automatic drip campaigns? There are these setup, touch programs that will send out an automated email, a text message, or remind you to give them a call. And then finally, after all of that, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to preview 10 properties. Now, before coronavirus started, that would be every Tuesday we would do what's called broker caravan. We'd go around, we drive around, and we see 10 different properties and just kind of be familiarized with what's happening in the real estate market. Since we can't do that now, I recommend going on the MLS and just keeping fresh on what's the new listings in the neighborhood, what has hit the market, stuff like that. So the daily 10-4, just in recap real quick, 10 contacts, 10 note cards, 10 contacts added into our database, and then previewing 10 properties per week. The only one that's per week is the previewing 10 properties. Everything else should be done on a daily basis. So that's our daily 10-4. All right. So we are going to go over a couple ground rules in Ignite. We want to make sure that we arrive on class on time and return promptly from breaks. Obviously, we're doing this in Zoom, so if you got to go to the bathroom, no big deal. Just make sure you put your camera off. Be fully present. Turn your laptops and tablets and phones off on vibrate. Obviously, we need to be on our phones or our laptops while we're in Ignite because it's done virtually. How you participate here is how you participate everywhere. This is my big one. I really encourage everybody to turn their screen on and to be present in the class. I have pink eye right now. It's just allergies. Don't worry, everybody. I don't have coronavirus. But it's embarrassing to have this big red eye on the, or whatever. But I'm still here. I'm still present. It's fine. And if you're worried about your room being messy, this is a great opportunity to get on some spring cleaning a little bit early. Respect the different learning styles and opinions of others. Help each other learn, because none of us is as smart as all of us working together, which is very, very true. Oftentimes students will remind me of something that I didn't even think of or bring up a great point. Consider everything we discuss confidential. I want everybody to feel that they can talk about anything that they want to talk about in this class. If you had a really, really bad day lead generating, I want to hear about that. And frankly, the whole class wants to hear about that. We learn from not only our mistakes, but our successes. Not only our successes, but from our mistakes. I feel personally that if you don't share your mistakes, you're never going to learn from it. Oftentimes you'll hear me talking about mistakes I made early in my career in real estate. And why do I bring that up? Because I don't care about being perfect. I care about learning how to be right. And the way that you achieve that is, realizing where your weaknesses are and confronting them. Consider everything, sorry, I just read that. Commit to implementing at least one thing you learn. So if we learn something from a class, try to get in the habit of trying to implement that day. Oh, wow, I never thought of it like that. I'm going to start doing that a little bit more often. And then last but not least, have fun. Very cool. Okay.
Quick question. Are these classes, should we schedule 2 hours for them each time?
Yeah, just about. Some of them are going to be a lot shorter. This one is a lot longer. It has 70 pages that we're going to go through. I'm going to probably end up skipping, about a quarter of them. Yeah. So yeah, they are fairly long. Sorry?
I had a question.
Sure.
Like For the mentorship program, are we only required to go to the Ignite classes?
Sorry, one more. Are we required to go to the Ignite classes?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, you're stuck with me. No worries. Listen, I'll try to make these as fun as possible, but I know it's kind of a pain being on Zoom, to say the least.
Oh no, I just didn't know if these are the only classes or were there other classes besides Ignite that we were supposed to attend?
There are a bunch of other classes too. I don't know if Kristen she usually sends out an email with your mentor information and like all of just everything that you're gonna need to do. So I have them all written down on my calendar, but there are a bunch of other classes outside of Ignite. I looked on the virtual website and it doesn't seem to be any classes going on this month of January. So I was actually going to reach out to Kristen and find out when the next classes will be.
Okay.
So for right now, you're not missing any classes though.
Yeah, you're good. Ignite's the big one, but there are a lot of other classes such as Command with Blake Petska. He does an amazing class on all the cool like things you can do on Command and how to implement what you learn in this class and how to really, implement it in your career. So I always call this theory, and Blake's classes are like practice. How are we going to actually implement it through Command? So it's very, very important that you also do those, because you'll learn how to implement a lot of what we learn from here into Command and commanding your database. So big stuff.
Hey guys, it's Alfredo. I literally just finished a calendar right now. I was waiting on Josh's approval, but it's on KWBH Virtual. It was a little empty this morning, but now it's all filled up. There's a bunch of new classes on there, so take a look at it.
Hooray! Awesome. Thanks, Alfredo. Okay. Know your big why. Today you'll learn 4 new skills essential to gaining a stronger customer base and having success in real estate. Skill number 1, know your big why and monetary goal. Skill 2, commitment to daily lead generation. Skill 3, use influence sales language. Skill 4, be accountable to your big why and monetary goal. So these are the big things we're going to learn. So this is the fun stuff. Let's get after it. All right. Skill number 1.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Jared. I only gave myself an hour for this meeting, but you said that we could watch the remainder of it on Facebook.
Yep, you can go right on Facebook and watch the remainder.
Okay, sorry about that.
Awesome.
I'll see you soon.
No worries. Cheers.
Sorry to interrupt, but I also have to take off as well. I didn't know that was going to go longer than an hour, but I will catch up on the video on Facebook, and I'll give myself 2 hours for the next moving forward.
Awesome. Very cool, everybody. And hey, listen, if you need a shoot, no worries. My feelings won't be hurt. But let's try to get through this because we got a lot of stuff that we got to get through. Just go ahead and maybe send a message in the chat box. Hey, I got to go. Cheers. Have a great one. All righty. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you on the next one. Okay. Skill number 1, know your big why and monetary goals. What drives you is not only your mindset and attitude, but it's your passion about. But it's what you're passionate about. What stirs your soul? Why are you in this business? What do you hope to achieve for yourself and your family? The answer to these questions are the basis for your big why. And to fuel that big why will take money and income goal. To achieve success, you need motivation and inspiration for doing it. Your big why. Passions for your big why. Anyone can achieve the goals set in this course, but not everyone will. The journey requires discipline and a commitment to follow model systems and schedule every day. It requires passion towards something bigger than the task at hand, your big why. First, have a big why built around your passions, then follow your models, the models that you'll learn in this course. Keep doing it and you'll achieve grand success. Okay, so when we're getting into this, before we can read through this, until the cows come home, but a little bit more, to the point. Why are you in real estate? Does anybody want to share why they are in real estate? What brought them to the decision that, real estate's for me, I want to get into it, and what kind of drives you?
I mean, honestly, the ability to make as much money as you want to make. You set your own goals. You're your own boss, pretty much. However much you push yourself is how much ever you get out.
Yeah.
And that attracted me because it's up to myself. So I'm
Yeah.
not at a cap.
100%. And what would you do, financially, if you had all that money? What would you do? What would you change in your life? How would that help you?
It would help my family and I. With our living situation, we have like a nice house and everything, and I would honestly help others. One of my dreams was to make like a nice homeless shelter for people to come in and get free food, free room and board and everything. So once I reach a certain point, I would be able to give back.
I love it. And something that we do at Keller Williams is we go to the downtown women's shelter. We did that last year for Red Day, and all these things are amazing, amazing stuff that we can really do. And oftentimes, what we'll find out, our big why is not, oh, I want a nice sports car. It's something a little bit more, to the heart. Right in the soul. It's something that really drives you every single day. I can tell you, I have a nice car. It doesn't motivate me to sell houses. I promise you that. What does motivate me is the ability to be financially secure, to be able to take care of my mom, who has taken such amazing care of me my entire life. But, I'd like to be able to give back to her.
Right.
And these are things that are huge for me. And it's what drives me every single morning to get out of bed and to try to kill it every single day. Does anybody else have some big whys that they want to share that really, to them, it's like, this is what made me want to make this big career change?
I think for me, even though I grew up in a family where my father owns a lot of real estate in my country, it's also fun. I love the negotiation, the fact that I can go back and forth. It's just so fun for me. It's like a game. I don't know, I just enjoy it so much. And I think when you do things you enjoy and also you get paid for it very well, it makes you happy inside. That's my big why.
I love it. I love it. And yeah, listen, for me, one of the big reasons for me, I took a company that was doing about $6 million a year annual. And by the time I was done restructuring it and creating its, estimating program, I brought them up to 20 million a year. And I loved it. Believe me, I was making great money every single year. I also got a percentage of the profits. I was doing great. I was balling out. But I was working 60 to 80 hours a week. And I remember, a girlfriend that I was dating at the time, she's like, I never see you. I don't know. It's like, I don't really have like a boyfriend, like you come home and you're just like, you're so tired that you just want to play like video games or Call of Duty. I know, guilty. And then you just go to bed. Like you're just, you're not really present. And, I realized, I was like, there has to be something better that I can do, to make money and to be happy. And I loved homes, and I was in construction. I was a senior project manager and chief estimator. And, I restructured, these businesses and stuff, and I felt very accomplished. But I got to the idea that I was like, you know what? Instead of the headache of building the houses, why don't I just sell this finished product? And that's what kind of drew me to real estate, frankly, originally. And then more so is I just love working with people. I feel very, very attached to my clients whenever I'm working with them. I'm their fiduciary. I'm looking after their best interest in one of the most stressful times for many of them in their life. So, well, good stuff. Thank you for sharing, Devin and Ellie. So that was Denver, excuse me, and Ellie. Very, very good stuff. So awesome. Very good stuff. So I already asked these. Let's move down a little bit because I don't want to keep you all day. I actually have to run down to Carson and put a lockbox on a property. So this is a very good page for all of us to kind of look at. So what's on the page right now? It's your monetary goal. I want everybody to take a look at this. Take your phone out, take a picture, do a screenshot, print out this entire thing and print this page out, because we're going to determine how much money you're going to make and how much work you need to produce to make that amount. So I want everybody to, you could either do it right now or you can do it, later on your own time. I suggest just doing it right now. No time like the present. What is your annual monetary goal? Now that you know your big why, and you know why you want to make money, why the money is going to help you, what will it take to fund your life and your big why? Write down your annual monetary goal. It could be, for some people, it might be $50,000. For other people, it could be $100,000. For others, it might be $1 million. Whatever that amount is, I want you to write it down. And then from there, we're going to figure out our commission. Now that you've written down your monetary goal, let's look up what it takes to achieve this amount by calculating the average commission on each house bought or sold. So let's say our average sales price is not $200,000 in Los Angeles. I assure you that. Depending on where you work, it might be a little bit different. If you're specializing in Culver City, it might look different than Northridge. If you're working in Beverly Hills, it might look a little bit different from Rancho Cucamonga. Whatever area that you're specializing in, I want you to figure out what is the average sales price in that location. For me, I think it's around 1.5 million. So that's where my average sales price is. And frankly, I know my numbers pretty well because I'm able to look myself up. And I think the average sales price that I actually sell, it comes down to about like $900-something thousand. That's including all of my past, buyers, all of my past, sales and whatever. Granted, there's a couple $4 million properties in there, but there's also a few $200,000 condos, 300,000, whatever. So the average comes out to about 900,000. So good stuff. So you're going to have your average sales price. Then you're going to take your average commission rate and your average commission net GCI. So for me, if I was going to do this, so let's say it's $900,000 minus 3%, which is $27,000. That's my, net or whatever, 27,000. Now, personally, what I'm going to do is also take out my amount that I give back to the office. Let's say it's 30%. It might be different for other people. That might not even be mine. I don't really know what mine is. I sometimes just will pay it off, but let's say it's 30% additional. So it comes out to, I forget what it was, but anyway, so you're going to get your average commission, your net GCI. Now, once you have that, you're going to take your turn. Oh yeah. Okay. Hold on. Let me read this. So anyway, so let's say, I take my $900,000, I subtract 3%, which is $27,000. Let's just say I've capped already and I don't, pay the office any commission anymore. I should be expecting to make $27,000 on each sale, roughly. There's taxes obviously included or whatever. Great. So what I'm going to do from there is I'm going to multiply that by, let's say I wanted to make, I don't know. Let's just say I want to make $300,000 in a year. Let's just say I might want to make more than that personally, but whatever. So I'm going to take $300,000. I'm going to divide it by 27,000. And that means I need to sell 11 houses, 11.11111 houses a year. So let's just call it 12. Let's say I want to sell 12 houses per year. So that's how I would figure out how I want to get there. Now, you can get even more advanced, and for the sake of time, I'm going to just kind of skip through this, but you know what your royalty is. So it's a 6% capped at 3,000. You know what your 30% is, you know, your what you give back to the office up to, you know, $30,000 or whatever it is at Keller Williams Beverly Hills. So you're also going to subtract that out of it, and you're going to figure out exactly how many deals you have to make to achieve your monetary goal. So I want everybody to really take the time to print this out, do it on your own, just for the sake of time for class, and figure out exactly how many deals do I have to make? How many, you know, sales do I need to achieve each year? And through that, you're going to have a greater sense of accountability as to what you can achieve in this business. And then from here, what I would like us to do, and I believe it goes through a little bit more in depth in the following pages, is you're going to be able to do your numbers. If you're constantly keeping up with your daily 10-4, how many people do I reach out to? How many times do I have to reach out to somebody until it becomes a lead? How many leads do I need to get until it becomes a contract? See what I'm saying? So then all of a sudden now you have a predictable path of your business. So for me, I know I need to contact 100 people to get one real tangible lead. And out of every 10 leads that I get one transaction, closed transaction. I think my numbers are a little bit better now, conversion wise, but I'm just using those for like easy math. So that means I have to on the spot. I got to contact a lot of people. And that's why the emphasis is on lead generation. You know, make sure you're constantly keeping up with your lead gen. Now, sometimes, you know, some people just have a much more, you know, robust sphere of influence, and it's a little bit easier with their conversion rates and how many people they contact to how many people, you know, they get a sale from. But, you know, you're going to want to know all these numbers, so that way you can have a predictable income. So in business, we always like to have, you know, predictable outcomes. So anyway, so how many transactions to reach your monetary goal? Your GCI calculator will assist you in calculating the number of transactions needed and your progress in meeting that number. You could do a quick calculation here. Okay, we already did this, all that fun stuff. So I guess we all have the idea of how we can figure that out. And I find this to be extremely, extremely important. So skill number 2, commit to daily lead generation. This is where I just left off. Great, you got your big why and your monetary goal. So now how do you get from there to from here to there? Lead generation. Journey to your monetary goal. If real estate was a factory, if you ran a factory, you would know how long it takes to make a widget, right? 2 hours, step 1, 2 hours for step 2, 2 hours for step 3, 2 hours for step 4 equals 8 hours. So it takes 8 hours to make one little widget thingy-majigger in this theoretical factory. You would also know that if you didn't do step 1, at the end of the day, you would have no widgets. Real estate is no different. Time, lead generation. We need to set up a certain amount of time per day to do our lead generation. We need a certain amount of time to set up our appointments. We need a certain amount of time to set up our agreements. We need a certain amount of time to get as many contracts, and then time to close equals 90 days. So in reality, when you get one lead, it should take about 90 days until you close that transaction. And that is actually a very, very true number that they're showing right there. That is the typical course of action when it comes to, you know, closing a transaction. So let's say I'm cold calling. Ring, ring, ring. How you doing? Hey, Mr. Seller. Blah, 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 blah. How you doing? I'm Jared. You want to sell your house? Yeah, sure. Okay, great, cool. Boom. That's now a lead that I now have. I may have had to call 100 other people before I got to that one person, and that took me 2 hours to go through. So it's 2 hours of lead generation per day. That's the way I look at it. Now to finally get this guy to set the appointment, I might have to call him 3 or 4 more times to really get an agreement on when we're going to sit down and do the appointment. That appointment by itself takes an hour or 2, you know, in that. So I need to know exactly how much time I need for this. Once we have our agreements, you know, it's going to take some time eventually to get till we get to the close. we got pictures, we got, marketing that we need to do. We got to put it on the MLS. And then once we're on the MLS, we got to show it. So all of these things take time, which is why it's so important for us to do our lead generation. So we're not just dependent on one person, but multiple deals that we have in our pipeline. So for every day you don't lead generate, 90 days later, you can expect no money. You don't want this to happen. So every single day, we want to make sure we're lead generating. So every day, remember, 90 days from that point, no money. So, and in fact, when I used to do door knocking, because I actually feel being face-to-face with people is much more effective than cold calling. Of course, we can't really door knock right now, so we're stuck with the lesser of two evils, I guess, so to speak. Whenever I would door knock, I wouldn't stop until I talked to 20 people. And then I would say, all right, I'm not going to stop until I get one lead. And that's how I would, manage my time for door knocking. It was very simple. It wasn't even a time thing. It was more of a results-based activity. So very good stuff. So discuss the following questions as a class. How long on average does it take to get a buyer or a seller to sign a contract for a sale listing? I have the answers over here, but I don't have it up right now. So I'm just going to go off of my averages. Take a guess. I think it's like 1 to 3 months. It depends. It really depends on the person. If someone's really actionable and really, really, really looking to make a move, it could be as quickly as a month to be in contract. If, for sellers, it's a little bit quicker, I think, sometimes. But for buyers, frankly, I think it's like a 2 to 3 month period of time. And I think on average, it's about 3 months. How long does it take for a transaction to close and for you to get paid? The answer was just up there a little bit ago. Highlighting it.
90 days.
Boom, there we go. So that is on average. That's average. So granted, some are going to be quicker, some are going to be shorter. So it takes about 90 days. How quickly do you want to get paid, or how long can you go without a payday?
I'd like to get paid now.
Yes, me too. So that means we needed to start lead generating yesterday. So, keep in mind, everybody who's saying, I'm, a little bit nervous to lead generate. I get it. Believe me, I get it. That was me. It took me over, and I don't want this to be you because it shouldn't, because people who are in my last class, the last pool, I think I had like a record amount of people closing deals within the first, couple weeks of us, doing this. So I don't know if he's on this call, but Isai, he is just like killing it. He's got like a couple listings right now. He's rocking and rolling. He's got more listings than I do right now. So listen, just because you're just starting doesn't mean you can't get, a listing or a buyer or an escrow or whatever. You can do it. You just got to put in the work. And it seems daunting, but it's really not once you get used to it. Anything that we try for the first time is going to be difficult. But once you get used to it and you practice enough, it becomes second nature. It's no big deal. What will it take for you to get paid so you can begin to fund your big why? These are all good questions to be asking ourselves. We're on a new path to greatness, and we will all get there, but we just got to put in a little bit of work to get there. Okay, so lead generation funnel. This is my favorite pictograph because it is just an accurate representation of what our business looks like. And I'm basically just going to go off of what I see in the picture. We have this big open funnel with as many leads as we can possibly fit in there as we can. And then eventually those leads will boil down to appointments. And eventually those appointments will boil down to agreements. And eventually those agreements will boil down to contracts, and then boop, payday. And that's the whole process of real estate. You know, you really want to focus on getting as many leads as you possibly can. When you're at the grocery store and, you know, you're chatting up somebody in line, you know, try to figure out how to slide in real estate, you know. Now I get it, you know, we're all social distancing, so it's a little bit difficult to be like, hey buddy, you want to have a convo? It's like, no, dude, get away from me. So I get that, but you know, we can still read the room, so to speak. You know, some people might be a little bit more open to having conversations. Some people, you know, when restaurants open again, that was something that I love to do. I love going out to like a restaurant, ordering a couple margaritas, getting a little liquid courage in me, and having a little conversation with somebody who's sitting next to me. Like, hey, how you doing? How's your day going? Oh, pretty good. Yeah, you know, actually I work in that office up there. Oh man, I was up there all day today. Oh, what do you do? Oh, you know, I'm a lawyer. I work in Century City. Oh, cool. Awesome. Well, I'm a realtor here in Beverly Hills. You know, do you have any clients who are looking to buy or sell? Or maybe you are. And you just have conversations, you know, that way. Every opportunity that we talk with somebody, whether it's a friend, a family member, our boyfriend or girlfriend, at the dog park, you know, parent teacher conferences, everybody who has kids, use your kids as a way to get business. Believe me. In fact, ask them if they want to drop off note cards to people's doors or something like that. Child labor is totally acceptable in real estate. I'm kidding. But the point is that you try to figure out how you can better utilize your time to always be kind of thinking about real estate in the back of your mind, because everybody's a potential client, everybody. So that's a good part. You know, everybody is a potential client. Everybody rents, everybody buys, you know, at one point in their life, or almost, most people. So very cool. Okay. Calling every session, every Ignite Power session, we will together make phone calls for our business. We don't really do that much on this because we're on a Zoom, and it would be very distracting to have, you know, 10, 20 people talking at the same time. So we need to be self starters in this. So keep that in mind, but we will be going over scripts and dialogues and role playing in class. This means that you'll need names and contact information every day for calling in class. You may be thinking, what if I run out of people to call? We will explore ways of finding more contacts as we progress through Ignite. Remember, calling for leads is the single most important step in building your business. You would be cheating yourself and your family if you are not prepared to make calls every single class. We need to get used to being uncomfortable. The more we try to get ourselves used to being uncomfortable, the more likely we'll get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So, you know, I know that sounds kind of like a, huh, what? But I mean, put it like this. There are people in basketball and in sports where it's like, just give that person the ball, you know. And why did they get so good at like those like game-winning shots or whatever? Because they've been doing it for so long that they no longer get fazed by that uncomfortable, all eyes on me kind of feeling. In fact, they're energized. They perk up. So keep that in mind. Try to do, the more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to feel in doing it. Leveraging powerful scripts is a great way to, simple formula. Why can some agents make 100 calls a day and others fear the phone? Because successful agents follow this simple formula, leveraging powerful scripts. This is huge. Scripts work because we are big on scripts because they do work. Build the relationship, ask for the business, ask for referrals, come from contribution. Now, eventually, when you get good enough at doing scripts, they actually just become what I like to refer to as conversation parameters. You're not really just going like, hi, my name is Jared. I'm with Keller Williams, Beverly Hills. I was wondering if you would like to buy or sell real estate? ? You know, that's not obviously what we're going for. What we're going for is getting so used to this all of a sudden that we're just like, hey, it's Jared Medlinski, Keller Williams, Beverly Hills. How are you doing today? Oh, you're doing great. Awesome. Me too. Hey, listen, I just wanted to ask you, I had this house that sold, only like 1 week. We have all these interested buyers. Anybody who's buying, selling, or, whatever in the neighborhood, and just get it out there. So it's a conversation. They say, no, no problem. Well, hey, how was your New Year's? Oh, it was good. Awesome. Well, hey, listen, I'm the local agent in your area. I'd love to be able to help. I know a lot of the houses in your area have amazing views. I'd love to, set up a time to stop by and connect if that's all right with you. Yeah, sure. All right, cool. And just like come from contribution, try to be friendly, give them information on the neighborhood, and stuff like that. Okay. It goes back to your mindset. One of helping people and being positive. Focus on your goals, avoid attachment to the outcome, and you will succeed. This is huge. Don't worry about the outcome. Worry about making the calls. That's what we should worry about. Not every call is going to be a grand slam or a slam dunk. We are going to have days where it just seems like everybody and their mother is just like telling you to go kick rocks. And, it might suck a little bit, it might, but I assure you that not doing those calls is going to suck a lot more than getting, the occasional, grumpy person on the other line or getting rejected. It's, I argue that the outcome of not calling is much worse than the outcome of calling. So get used to making those phone calls. Don't worry about it. You're going to be just fine. And eventually you'll get to the point where you laugh it off when somebody, gets a little grumpy on the other line or, hangs up really quickly. It's not a big deal. Okay. 4 powerful habits. Okay, grow and manage your database. So this is, by the by, this kind of goes back to our daily 10-4. This is our daily 10-4 actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 10 new contacts in your contact database every single day. So again, remember I said, when we're cold calling and somebody asks us a question that we don't know the answer to, this is a great opportunity to say, you know what, I don't know the answer to that right now. I wasn't prepared to answer it, but if you give me your email, I can certainly follow up with you in the next hour or two. And then boom, now you got their email and you're able to add them into your database. And that way you can stay in touch with them all the time. And eventually, after cold calling enough, you have like hundreds, if not thousands of people that are now on your database that are constantly getting like drip emails like, hey, it's Jared, just thinking about you, how you been, whatever. So all of a sudden that like, oh, I'm only making 10 calls a day. Well, actually, if you include all the drips and stuff that you're doing from your command and your automated email systems and all that, you're actually making like hundreds and hundreds of contacts a day. You just might not know it because they're in your database. So prospect, speak with 10 people in your database every single day. If this is a great time because of the coronavirus to just pick up the phone and be like, hey buddy from high school that I knew, how you been? You know what? It's been so long. I just wanted to take the time to reach out to all my friends and family and just check in and see how they're doing. Times are weird. What's new? Have a conversation. And then all of a sudden that conversation could turn into, hey, you know what? Why don't we grab coffee sometime? It'd be great to, see you in person. If you feel comfortable with that, we can be socially distanced, maintain 6 feet. Maybe we can go for a walk at the park or something, just catch up. And then, of course, you're going to slip in, by the by, I'm in real estate. Do you know anybody who wants to buy or sell? So these are really great ways. You don't have to sound like a salesperson necessarily. And for the people who are like nervous, I don't know enough about real estate right now. This is a great way to get in the habit of calling people. It doesn't necessarily have to be real estate. It also can be, hey, I just was checking in on you to see how you've been. What's new with you? And then they're obviously going to ask you, what's new with you? And that's when you can go, oh, I actually just got into real estate recently. I'm really excited. Would you like to help me grow my business? Do you know anybody who's looking to buy or sell? I'd be forever grateful if you can pass me their info or tell them about me. Follow up, write 10 notes to people that you have recently made contact with every day. Again, I recommend doing a handwritten note, but a text message works as well. An email also works. Know your market, preview 10 homes every single day, and visit 10 in person every week. Yeah, again, this one we can't really do it in person, so I would just recommend going on the MLS. Okay. Excuse me. All righty. Okay. Let's get down a little bit more into this because we don't need to go through all
Jared,
of
I
it.
have a quick question.
Yes, I have a quick answer.
So one of my kind of limiting beliefs is to reach out to someone that I haven't talked to in years and sound disingenuous and selfish in that I think I gotta change my mindset and come from a place of contribution, because I feel kind of like, okay, I haven't talked to this person in 10 years, 5 years, whatever the case may be. Now I'm reaching out of the blue. Hey, how's it going? Do you want to buy or sell a house? Like, obviously it's not going to be that cut and dry, but I think one of the things that's stopping me from reaching out to people that I haven't spoken to in a while is just coming off as selfish and just having a motive. What are your thoughts on that?
Sure, I feel that all the time. And not even that, like I've I've made calls where like I'm like, oh gosh, like didn't I make out with his girlfriend in high school once? Like like weird stuff. Like who knows? Like did I weird, I'm just making that up. But there's reasons why sometimes it will prevent me from making a call. And something that we do in this thing called Bold, which I suggest everybody try to do, is I remember our Bold instructor said, think of somebody who you got into, I think it was like a disagreement with. Somebody that you don't want to talk to, somebody that like, hurt you in some way or another. And, some people wrote down their ex-wives, their ex-husbands. I wrote down a boss of mine that like we left on bad terms. And he said, great. Now think of all the things that they did that, hurt you in some way. And you write it all down and blah, 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 blah. And then like, there was another thing that you did. Like, well, think of like a couple things that went well in that relationship and now give them a call. And we were like, what? I don't want to give that person a call. Hell no. And sure enough, everybody in the class had to go and make that call. And I remember it to this day. His name was, who's Luigi? I like the name now. Anyway, so I'm not going to name his name, but it was a former boss of mine that I remember to this day. He once threw a stapler at my head, didn't hit my head, but it went right by me and into the drywall. And I worked with this guy for 8 years. The point is I one day just got up out of the blue and just walked right out of the office and just never came back. They were calling me like, where'd you go? Like, what happened? Blah, 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 whatever. And, I wrote down his name in this class. And I remember he had just had a baby. And this was my opportunity to give him a call. So I gave him a call after, 2.5 years of not speaking. And I remember when he picked up, and he didn't pick up right away. I just left a message. And I said, hey, bud, I just wanted to call you. I saw that you had a baby. I just wanted to reach out and say, hey, I think about you all the time. And, all the amazing stuff that you taught me in that business. And I never think I gave an opportunity to thank you for all of that. And I use a lot of what you taught me in construction and in sales and construction in real estate now. And I'm forever thankful. And also, I heard about the news that you just had your first kid. Congratulations, Mazel Tov, the whole shebang. And feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm just so excited for you, and it's been a long time. Happy to catch up. Sure enough, he gives me a call and he goes, Jared, I'm selling my condo. Would you like to meet? I'm like, yeah. So we meet and I end up selling his condo. So the point is oftentimes we have these limiting beliefs that, oh, I can't call this person. Oh, I can't, whatever. And the truth of the matter is that could be your best new client. And to further answer your point, Amar, when I called him, I didn't make it about real estate. I made it about checking in on him. And real estate was naturally brought up because when you're catching up with somebody, you're asking how they've been, what's new, and eventually they will go, what's new with you? And that's your opportunity to say, I'm in real estate. So just for fun, Amar, you and I, we're going to do a little role play right now. Amar, let's say you and I went to high school together 10 years ago. I don't know. It's making me a little bit young, so I'll take it. But let's say we went to college 10 years ago. And I'm giving you a call and we haven't talked in 10 years. And let's just say for giggles and laughs, we were roommates and I stole a big thing of vodka from your room and drank it with some girls and you got really pissed at me for that. And that's where we left off. I'm just making something up. Okay, anyway, ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey Amar, random, but it's Jared Medlinski. How you been?
Oh, the same Jared that sold that vodka from me. How's it going, man?
You know what? Pretty good. And, I regretted that, admittedly. But good news is I'd love to buy you another round of drinks if that's possible. But before that, we get into that. I just wanted to say hi. It's been 10 years. And with this whole coronavirus thing, I just decided I wanted to reach out to, friends and old acquaintances and just, check in and see how you've been doing.
Yeah, I've been good, man. Family, work, we're just quarantining, same old stuff.
Listen, not to hit a sore subject, but the reason why I'm also calling is I actually went back to our old college the other week. I was meeting with somebody out there, and it just kind of reminded me of how young we were, how silly it was, and listen, I'm really, really sorry about doing that one thing, but I figured this would be a good time with everything that's going on just to reconnect. And while I know you were pissed about that one thing and it kind of ruined our friendship for a little bit, I'm hoping now that we're in our 30s we can maybe get over it and maybe laugh over it over a drink. What do you think?
Yeah, man. No harm, no foul. It's water under the bridge. It's consider the hatchet buried.
Awesome, man. Well, what's new with you? How's work? What have you been doing with your life? I know you were like a blah 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 major, but what did you end up getting into?
Oh yeah, I ended up opening up my own gym, and that's been going quite well. And I have 2 kids now, and yeah, man, life is good.
Holy crap! Kids, gym, like you're out adulting me. This isn't fair.
What about you? What's going on with you?
Oh gosh. Well, I've been doing real estate for the last 5 years now, which is awesome. Love it. Actually, I'm sure it's very similar to, you running your own gym. You have to market yourself, got to get the word out. And, I never realized that getting into real estate, how it's really like you're a real estate agent, but you're also a marketer at the same time. It's running your business. It's nuts.
Yeah, definitely. I can only imagine.
Yeah. How did you get your business up and running, by the by, with the gym?
I was a trainer and I was just sick of the politics. So I saved up some money and borrowed some money from another friend. And we just decided to open up our own space so we don't have to deal with the man.
Yeah, I don't blame you, man. Hey, actually, I'm looking to try to get back into shape myself. How are you doing with the closures right now? Like, are you up and running? Are you doing workouts outside? Like, how's that working?
Yeah, luckily we have a little bit of a parking lot space, so we've been doing that, and we've been offering some virtual classes. Obviously it's not as fruitful as it was when we had our doors open, but we're still putting food on the table.
Well, listen, man, send me a link to that because I'd like to maybe join that if that's okay, because I sure as heck could probably get back into better shape.
Yeah, anytime. That'd be great.
Sure. Here, what's your email real quick, and I'll send you my email and info.
Yeah, it's Amar@kellerwilliams.com or Amar@buffdudesgym.com.
Awesome, Amar. Well, listen, man, I'm looking forward to that, and hopefully we can have a drink once the bars are open again. But more importantly, that really makes me excited about this whole working out thing. Do you have like a class pass, or like how does it all work?
It's just you just drop in and it's just Venmo per class.
Oh, dope. Awesome. Well, hey man, listen, I'm going to join that for sure and see if I can keep up. But hey, listen, in the meantime, if you know anybody who's looking to buy or sell, send them my way. I'd be really, really forever grateful. It's been a crazy year.
Yeah, I you know what? I might know some people from the gym. I'll keep you in mind.
Awesome, dude. Well, hey, man, I'll catch up with you on again a little bit later, but expect to see me in one of your classes.
Sounds good. Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you
Yeah.
catching up.
Good catching up, dude. Cheers. So the point is I went through this long roundabout to eventually ask him about real estate. And I'm pretty sure it didn't seem disingenuous. I highly doubt that he would, obviously he knows because we're on this call together, that I was calling about my real estate. And sometimes it's just planting a seed. It's not as, bold and in your face as necessarily you might think it should be.
And you got his email address, and now you can add him to the drip marketing.
That was the other point too. Yes. And so, think a little bit outside of the box, especially when you're reaching out to like personal connections. And obviously I've done that before. So I knew what to say and how to, tiptoe around the conversation. But I came in with an objective. I wanted to get his, email so I could, drip campaign him. And I also wanted to set up a time that we could possibly meet in person. Now, you don't have to do whatever their business is. But for example, if it's like a cheap workout class or whatever, yeah, it's benefiting you and it's also benefiting the person. I would recommend doing that. Now, if the person's like an attorney, you don't need to go sue somebody just to hire them for their services. But, you can, have those conversations. And
Right.
Yeah, so I think that, did that help, Amar?
Definitely, yeah.
Awesome.
I'm walking into a meeting, so I'll catch you guys soon.
Cheers.
Bye.
Okay, so all of this is very good stuff. Scripts are cool. Anyway, sorry about that. Purpose of scripts, benefits of scripts, learning scripts, calling with scripts. So obviously I've done a lot of scripts in my time personally. So I kind of take like a hodgepodge of a bunch of different scripts and just throw them together for whatever the application, benefits, whatever I see more benefit from the application. But scripts are really, really powerful ways to navigate conversations and negotiations with people that we want to do. For example, if I'm in a negotiation, I have a little bit of a script that I like to use, which is, I believe, who mentioned Chris Voss?
I did.
Yeah. I love this. And at any point in this negotiation, you don't feel that I'm being fair, I want you to let me know. Does that sound all right with you?
Yeah.
Great. And I like to have that conversation with a lot of agents, and some of them know where it's coming from and some of them don't. But at the same time, it is a very, very powerful way to be able to begin the negotiation process with people. They always want to feel that they're being treated fairly. Now, in regards to scripts for cold calling, you want to find something that works, that doesn't feel overbearing or overpowering. And one of the most successful scripts that I know, the gentleman's name is Richard Schulman. He's with Keller Williams in the West Side office. I forget which one. Anyway, but he's one of the highest. Sorry, hold on. Anyway, you want to, one of the most successful scripts that I've heard of is so simple that it's almost mind-boggling. And I'm going to butcher it probably, but I believe it goes something similar to this. Hi, this is Jared Medlinski with Keller Williams Beverly Hills. Are you or anybody you know interested in taking advantages of the opportunities presented in today's market? That's it. Done. And the person will either say yes or no, or repeat. And they go, huh? What? Who's this? Jared Medlinski with Keller Williams, Beverly Hills. I'm a realtor. I'm just calling to see if you or anyone you know are interested in taking advantage of the opportunities presented in today's market. What opportunities are there? Well, it's an amazing buyer and sellers market. It's amazing for buyers because of interest rates, and it's amazing for sellers due to the low inventory. People are getting outbid and selling at over list price very frequently. Well, I don't know. I was thinking of selling my house. well, would you like to set up a time to meet, and I can give you a in-person evaluation of your house? And the point is you're just getting into the conversation, process of asking that question. And it's very effective. I don't know his entire script of when he gets into all the whatever, but that's literally one of his #1 scripts. So real quick, I'm gonna play this video. Before I play the video, I just want to scroll ahead really quickly to see where the scripts are. There we go. And so after this video, we're going to just jump right into the scripts. And then after the scripts, we're going to break for the day, and we'll be done before 2 o'clock, hopefully. I don't want to keep you all too long, because then it just gets a little bit too much information at once. And believe me, we have 12 classes, so we'll go over it all. But I hope the stuff that I did pause on and focus on was really helpful, especially your GCI tracker, figuring out how many sales that you need to make in a year to achieve your goals. Okay, power session #1. Let's go back over to here. Sorry, 1 second. How to use scripts. Okay, let me make sure that we're sharing this. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's get into it.
Hi, I'm Jeff Glover, and I'm going to tell you the top 5 things that you need to know about using scripts. Step 1, you're going to need to get your scripts from a top agent at the office, your team leader, a MAPS coach, or of course, Keller Williams University. Step 2, we're going to need to do a total transformation of, instead of talking and telling, of asking questions. Selling isn't telling, selling is asking a series of questions that leads to desired response. So instead of talking so much, we need to get in the habit of asking questions. And asking questions gives us control of the conversation. Control of the conversation gives us our ultimate outcome, which is an appointment set or closing. Step 3, we need to listen with good intentions. Well, what I mean by that is we need to listen to their answers instead of just listening to them talk and asking another question that comes to mind. For example, instead of asking a seller where they're moving to and then going on to the next question, how soon would you like to be there? Ask them, where are you moving to? And when they give you a response, ask them, what takes you there? Step 4 in becoming better at scripts is we need to learn to mimic, mirror, and match the prospect. What I mean by that is we have to listen to their tone of voice. We have to speed up or slow down based on how fast the prospect is talking. That means when they respond and say, we're moving to Toledo, one-hour game.
Sure.
Our game is our presentations and our appointments, and we need to practice daily. Everything that we've learned every single day before we meet with our clients. When it comes to scripts, my biggest aha is that everybody has their own scripts. We're pre-programmed to have scripts, and we're talking and asking questions that are scripted. However, what we found is that most of our own scripts are no good. And so we have to learn the right scripts, the right questions to maintain control of the conversation. Thanks for watching KW Connect. Make it a great day.
Okay, perfect. Yes, it is. Yes, it is available. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so scripts. Those are awesome. I love scripts. And did anybody have any ahas from that video that like stuck out? Like something that was like, oh, whoa, that was, yeah. Good point. Nobody?
For me, it was when he was talking about selling is asking questions and listening.
Yes. Selling, you'd be surprised how much questions really help the process along whenever we're trying to, sell something. Because that's when people will feel like you're listening a lot more. They're going to feel like you're really interested in them and not so much the commission, and that you're coming from a place of contribution. So definitely, thank you so much. That was awesome. Okay, so let's practice a couple scripts. And then after this, we will be done for the day. So let's finish strong, everybody. Let's kind of shake up the cobwebs and wake up a little bit. I know it's been a long day on Zoom. Okay, who wants to self-elect to do the new to real estate script?
I'll do it.
Awesome. And so just so you know, Josh, before you get into it, you're going to read the hello down to business, and then you're going to go over to the right-hand side where it says rest of the script.
Okay.
All right. And by the by, we're going to be doing it together. So when you're talking to me, I'm going to respond back to you. So keep that in mind.
Okay.
Ready when you are.
Hello, this is Josh. Do you have a moment?
Hey, Josh. Yeah, sure I do. What's up?
I'd like to share some exciting news. I've just become a real estate agent with Keller Williams.
Oh, cool.
Thanks. With this partnership, I have all their knowledge working for me. Plus, my clients get all my enthusiasm and hard work. I thought about sharing this with you because I know you would be someone to help me grow my business.
Josh, I've known you for a while. Absolutely, man.
Well, that's awesome. First, I wanted to share our real estate app with you. You can see what's going on anywhere from your street to any place in North America. It's free. There's no cost. I can send you a text with a link in it. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's just a text message. Yeah, sure. Go for it.
It's easy. You just click on the link and click on the button and it sends you the link to the actual app.
Awesome.
First off, I'd like to, just quick question. Do you know anyone from your work or your neighborhood or a group that you belong to that'd be interested in buying or selling their own home or possibly investing in real estate?
No, I don't, maybe.
On the top of your head right now that's even wanting to sell, possibly to trade up or move out of the state?
Yeah, you know what, this one of my neighbors does. Yeah, let me my wife knows his name. Let me go ask her real quick and I'll send you a text message.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
I just have a wealth of interesting and timely information about real estate market in your area and our area as well. If you text me your email address also, I could just keep you updated on the market and what's going on currently and in the future.
Sure. My email is jaredmarcusm@gmail.com.
That's great. Thanks, Jared. I appreciate it. And if you could do me a favor, if you know of anyone that is in the market or needs some real estate advice or help, would you keep me in mind?
Yeah, sure.
And that after you download our app, send me a text and let me know if you like it or what there's possible ways to improve upon it, because we're always looking to get better at everything we do.
Awesome.
Well, thanks for your time today. I really appreciate it. It means a lot. If there's anything I could ever help you with as well, just reach out. I'm a phone call away.
Awesome, Josh. Thank you so much. Definitely, man. So good stuff. So I always feel that these scripts are very wordy, personally. And when you get used to scripts and you read it enough, you start to be able to kind of realize what is the objective of each, paragraph of these scripts. And something that I like to kind of do, and sometimes it works with the script, sometimes it doesn't, is you can almost just kind of read the first sentence and let it speak for itself. So for example, let's say, Josh, you and I will do it again. And I'll be you this time. We'll switch roles. Hey, is this Josh?
Yeah, it is. Who's this?
Hey, Josh, it's Jared Medlinski. I just wanted to let you know I joined Keller Williams. It's really awesome.
That's great.
Yeah, man, with this new partnership, I have all their knowledge working for me. It's like I'm a 10-year veteran now. It's really great. But listen, while I have you on the phone real quick, I just wanted to share my real estate app with you. It's really awesome. You can see everything that's happening in North America, anywhere, any neighborhood, any place, and it's totally free. Can I send it over to you real quick?
Yeah, no problem. I mean, how different is it than Zillow or Redfin?
It's literally called the Zillow killer. I mean, it's awesome. It's just so robust. You literally see what I see on the MLS, and it's updated quicker than Zillow.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm always looking at real estate.
And listen, while I have you on the line, is there anybody that friends, family, coworkers, Little League baseball that might be interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate?
Yeah, one of my good friends she used the agent that I used last time, and she didn't actually like him very much.
I hope to be their new best friend. Believe me, I'll take good care of them. And listen, I also have a wealth of timely and interesting knowledge about the real estate market. I'd love to send it to you. Do I have your email address? That's correct. Or could you give it to me one more time?
Yeah, it's joshcanova@gmail.com.
Josh, thank you so much, dude. And do me a favor, if you hear of anyone with a real estate need, just keep me in mind. I'm just getting my business off the ground, but at the same time, I'm working with these great people in the office, and I feel very confident that I could, really, really do your friends and family a service.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much for your time. Let me know if there's anything I could ever do for you. And, I'm not saying that there's a difference between the way we did it, but I really just kind of focused on the first sentence of each one of these paragraphs. And I just kind of vamped after that, just kind of went, bah, 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 bah. And Josh did that too. And eventually I've read the script like 12 times already, like more than that, probably 100. So the point is when you get used to doing these scripts, it just turns into a convo. It's not, it doesn't even sound like you're doing a script. It really should just sound like you're having a conversation. Josh, awesome fucking job. Excuse me. That was great. Good shit. Good stuff. Okay, let's get Denver. You're new to Keller Williams, so let's do this script. And remember, when you're done with the first main part, you're going to jump over to the rest of the script to the right.
Okay, so I just read this whole part.
Yeah.
Okay. Hello, is this?
Hello, this is.
Oh, hello, this is Denver. Do you have a moment?
Hey, Denver. Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'd like to share something. I'd like to share some exciting news with you. Usually I'm the one helping people make a move. This time I'm the one who moved. I've moved to my real estate business over to Keller Williams Realty, and I just because my company name has changed, the level of service I offer to clients hasn't. My clients will continue to get all my enthusiasm and hard work. And as you already know, I'll do whatever it takes to help people. May I count you in to help me grow my business?
Absolutely.
Thanks. First, I like to share my real estate app with you. You can see what's going on anywhere, from your street to any place in North America. It's free, there's no cost to you. I can send you a text so you can link to it. Does that sound good?
Yep, absolutely.
Thanks. And I like to ask, who might you know from work, your neighborhood, or group you belong to who's interested in buying or selling a home or investing in real estate? Can you think of anyone right now? Thanks for taking a moment to think about it.
Oh, not off the top of my head, but I will eventually. I'm sure.
Okay, great. Well, I have a wealth of interesting and timely information about the real estate market in your area, and I'd love to send it to you. Let me make sure I have your current email and address. And
sure, yeah, here you go.
Thank you. And do me a favor, please. If you hear of someone with real estate need, will you keep me in mind?
Sure.
Great. And after you download the app and try it out, send me a text and let me know how you like it.
Awesome, will do.
Thank you. And thank you for your time and help. And please let me know if there's anything I can ever do for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Denver. I look forward to talking to you soon.
Thank you. You too.
So these scripts are, really, really helpful. And the more you read them, the easier it's going to be to go through these scripts and just sound like super, super, super natural. These are both of you, Josh and Denver, did an awesome job. Good stuff. Okay, let's go down to the next script. And the reason why I'm going through all these scripts is just so you know that there's a script for everything, and you'll find something very fascinating that's very common with all of these scripts. Brianna, if you could do number 3, remind them you're in real estate.
Yeah, sure.
Is it Brianna or Brianna, right?
Yeah, it's Brianna. You got it right.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Hey, how's it going? This is Brianna. Do you have a moment?
Hey, Brianna. Yeah, absolutely. What's up?
Hey, well, it's been a while, and I'd like to apologize for not staying in touch. I've just been so busy growing my real estate business and working with so many great clients like you. I just wanted to share with you that I have a personal goal to help 30 families get into the home of their dreams this year. As you already know, I'll do whatever it takes to help people. Can I count on you to help me reach my goal?
Yeah, absolutely. When you got me that house, gosh, we were working together, what, for like a year and a half. And finally we got that home, and oh my gosh, you were great. Absolutely. I'd love to help.
Oh man, I'm so glad you had a good experience with me. But first, I'd like to share my real estate app with you. You can see what's going on anywhere. It's free. You can see anything in North America. No cost to you. I can send you a text so you can link to it. Does that work for you?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. I'll check it out.
Okay, cool. I'll just make sure I have your current number and stuff. Also, I'd like to ask, do you know anyone from work or your neighborhood or a group you belong to who is interested in buying or selling or investing in real estate?
Ooh, yeah. You know what? My colleague JC, he's looking to buy. I could send you a text message.
That would be awesome. Thanks so much for taking a moment to think about that. Well, I have a wealth of interesting and timely information about the real estate market in your area, and I'd love to send it to you. Let me make sure I have your current email.
Sure, jaredmarcusm@gmail.com.
Awesome. I'm just going to write that down real quick. Do me a favor. If you do hear of someone with a real estate need, will you keep me in mind?
Absolutely.
Great. And after you download the app and try it out, just send me a quick text and let me know how you like it.
Sure, absolutely, 100%.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jared. Thank you for your time and help.
Hey, yeah, absolutely. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, of course. Hey, let me know if there's anything I can ever do for you.
Definitely. That was a great job. Awesome. I love that. Good job. Okay, now new to the area. Do we have anybody who's recently moved to California on the call? All right, I'll be the newbie to the area. Brianna, how about you be the person I'm calling? I'll read this one. Hello, is this Brianna? Nope. All right. Well, I'll just read it through. Okay. I'd like to share some exciting news with you. I moved to Los Angeles, California, and I'm with Keller Williams Realty. I thought about connecting with you because I knew you would be someone who would help me grow my business going into Los Angeles. May I count on you? Sure. First, I'd like to share my real estate app with you. You can see see what's going on anywhere from any street and any place in North America. It's free. And there's no cost to you. I could send it to you via text link, blah, 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 blah. And you go through the whole thing. So the one thing that I really want to point out though, is every single one of these scripts, it just jumps down to this. And this is the purpose of your call, really. On all of these scripts, the main purpose of this call is you want to give them your real estate app, want to ask them if they know anybody who's looking to buy or sell real estate. You want to make sure that you have their current email address and their address. And you also want to continue it at the end of the call. You want to ask again for the business. And by doing all of these things, you're achieving, basically knocking out almost all of your daily 10-4s just in one call. You're able to add their updated contact information into your database. You're asking for the business. You're being proactive in that. And then more importantly, for any point of this, you could start the call any way you want, frankly, whether you are new to real estate, new to Keller Williams, reminding somebody that you're in real estate, or you're new to the area, or you're just calling an old friend just to say hi. You can start it however you want, but the main point is you want to touch upon these, 1, 2, 3, 4 things. Is I want to share my real estate app with you, and I want to get your feedback. I want to ask if you or anybody you know is interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate. And then also just remind them, please do me a favor, if you think of anybody in the future who wants to buy or sell, to think of me. So the point is you can take all of these things and kind of mold them into your own and something that works better for you. And I honestly think that these are some surefire ways to make sure that you get at least a couple appointments or even leads within, your first week, if you're really calling every single day and trying. But again, the main thing that I want to stress in whenever you're doing scripts practice it enough to the point where it comes off naturally. You know, Josh and Brianna and Denver, you all sounded perfect. It was great. Really try even more and practice even more, and see how you sound. Record yourself the first time and then keep doing it over and over and over and over and over again. And then on your last one, record yourself again and compare the two. See if you're able to improve the way you sound and your tonality and how you're talking. And you might even find that you're not even reading the script anymore. You're just touching on certain points. Eventually you'll get into like a nice flow with it, and then give them hell and make some calls. All righty. Well, I'm going to leave off over there. Thank you all so much. We stopped 30 minutes early. I assure you, not all the classes are going to be this long, but I wanted to thank you. There's a lot of important stuff inside of this that we're going into. You know, for example, I highly urge, if you have some free time, to finish the rest of this on your own. There's a lot of very important information in here. Your 20%, for example, we want to focus on the 20% of the activities that gives us 80% of the results. Returning a call to a person inquiring about a listing, is that important? Is that urgent? You know, you want to figure that out. Schedule a training class on contacts. I don't know, maybe. Your daily 10-4, that's the big time important thing. Ordering new business cards. Do you think it's important to have business cards, everybody?
Yes.
No.
Nope.
I don't think so. It's great to have a business card that you can hand out, but don't worry about how it looks, you know, whatever. As long as it has your name and your email address and your phone number, that's fine. Because what did everybody do when you hand them a business card?
Throw it away.
Throw it away. Or it ends up in your, where is it? Well, I don't even know where it is. I thought it was in here, but it might be somewhere else. Anyway, it just ends up in your junk drawer. You know, you just put it in a drawer when you get home and you never look at it again. So the point is, business cards can be useful in, you know, having somebody write down a number or something. But once they take the number and put it in their phone, that business card's getting chucked out the window. So really focus on what is going to get you business. Your business card. I've had a business card at a Starbucks or something for 2 years, and I went back and I don't think one person took a business card. So my point is business cards by themselves really don't do anything. What does something is your communication and the way you communicate and interact with other people. I think it was Maya Angelou who said something like, people always remember how you made them feel. They're not going to remember what you said, but they'll remember how you made them feel. I think it was Maya Angelou. I might be wrong. But the point is people are always going to remember what impression you left on them. Not even really what you said, but just how you left off with them and how you made them feel. So focus on that, focus on the substance, and get out there and knock them dead all.
Thank you.
Cheers. Have a great one, y'all. Get out there.
Question.
Oh, yeah, and any questions that you have, let me know.
Okay.
Cool. Cheers. Have a great one.